Today I wanted to make a really serious topic about the time I went homeless for 3 years. But before I say all that, I actually made this video 3 times just like a minute ago. And each time I recorded it, I put my microphone off. So I'm just gonna like skim through it even faster. Like, if something like that happens, I will do it a million times. Like, I don't give a fuck. We're gonna do it till we get it right. Also, I have this drink right here. It's so delicious. I get this at Target for $1.59. It's really good. It's a sparkling water. Yeah, today I just want to talk about the time I was homeless in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was very hard. About 3 years. I got myself out of it. It was very hard. Other people going through things like that. And I just want to make this video because I don't think I've ever seen a video of a girl talking about this, my age and where I'm from, and having the same background story. So I hope that this resonates with somebody in the future or in the present right now, because it's hell going out there on your own and, you know, coming from a fucked up background and having like a really dysfunctional family. So even when you are on your own, you can't like fall back on them or rely or get any support in any way. So I wanted this video to be a form of support. I want you to know that I have been in your shoes. I have gotten out of it. I have been in and out of the same shit all my life. And I kind of just want to give a little bit of a backstory on my life and who I am. In case you guys haven't met me or seen my channel before, you can call me Jay. I am 25 years old and I've lived in Vegas all my life. Ups and downs, definitely living out here. It's not really where I want to be. I'm not really happy here, but it's kind of is what it is right now. Before everyone started moving here, it really was crackhead nation. Yeah, let's get into it. So growing up in Vegas, I had really stable, really fun parents, and they're very young, very funny, very weird, and I think that's where I get a lot of my personality from. I really clung to my dad just because we are like peas in a pod and we feel the same emotions, we think the same way. He's a really smart guy, a really brilliant guy. And my mom she's very structured, very stable, but emotionally she kind of like doesn't like talking about her feelings and stuff. She just never takes time to like really reflect on things. So she just keeping on. For emotional people like me and my dad, like we kind of need the emotional support. So I have an older sister and an older brother. We're all 4 years apart. We had like a really fun childhood. Like we always had friends over, family friends. Like we were like the house that like always threw parties and always did these things, and it was so much fun. But that sadly came to an end around the age of like 7 or 8. And my dad and my brother, I don't know how it really went, but both of them at the same time both started like abusing substances. And my dad was like smoking meth or crystal meth, and my brother was like doing Xanax, smoking weed and like lean all the time. And really crazy because each person on substance is a different person, and one is enough. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. One person like that is enough in the family. But believe it or not, we actually had a lot of people like that in the family that eventually over time as I grew up, it kind of got worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point where you kind of were like, my whole life was kind of like cleaning up the mess of other people and taking up responsibilities that I was way too young for. But I had to like man up. I had to do these things. I couldn't cry about it. I didn't know how to cry about it. All I knew how to do was play The Sims, journal in my notebook, and listen to music, okay? I didn't know how to do anything else. Yeah, so my parents got divorced around the age of, I was 8 years old, and I lived in a very abusive home. So not only through drugs, but my dad and my brother were both physically violent and emotionally abusive. It felt like I had to fight for my life every day. It felt like every day I was like ready for death. It felt like every day I was just ready to be like that story where like the whole family got murdered or the house got burnt down or a bad fight happened and then like something happened, because it was like that every day. Like every fucking day we had the cops at my house. Every day. They knew us so well, like it was sick. It wasn't until 13 where I kind of first experienced what it's like to kind of be homeless. I never really got along with my sister, and my brother was always in and out of jail or juvie. So parents divorced, family broke up, family friends like stopped coming over, all this stuff happened, and I had to deal with like 2 addicts growing up and like crazy divorce and all this stuff. And then I had to try to find my place in this world because I didn't know who I was anymore. I was 13 years old. It was me, my mom, and my sister. This is where I just did not get along with my mom. I didn't agree with the way that she dealt with things. I didn't agree with the fact that she was so emotionally like neglectful. I didn't really I would just question things. You know, I would just be like, why are we doing it this way? Why do things have to be this way? Why can't we just do it like this? It was like nobody was explaining anything to me in my life, including how shit works. Oh, and my mom was super fucking strict, dude. Like, she didn't even cut the bullshit. She don't want to care about the boo-boo. She don't care about who said what, who did what. She's the type of person to be like, give me both of your phones. You're not going anywhere. And it was like that for years. So like I said, at 13, I just was like, and I dipped the fuck out. I ended up staying with friends a lot. That's how it kind of started. I would stay at my friend's house for like weeks because it was so abusive at home. And there was so much fighting because of my brother and all the relationships he had and all this stuff. And so my mom was like enabling him. So it just made it worse. I stayed at my friend's houses for so long, and to the point where my mom like never really called or anything like that. I know she cared about me. I know she still loves me, but she just didn't even try to reach out to me. Basically, my friend's parents were like my parents. I used to spend the night at my cousin's house. She's like 10 years older than me, and we grew up together. And so I was like, how about I just move in with them? So I moved in with them and her mom, so which is my aunt, and I helped raise her kid, and I was there, and I was like always cleaning and cooking because that's things I was good at. Unfortunately, she was still in an abusive relationship, so I kind of like witnessed the same thing that was going on with my brother, my mom, my dad in a different household. So it kind of was like reliving the same traumas over and over again. And I was very neglected as a child too, so that kind of like plays a lot into this. Anyways, I ended up moving out and I went back home to my mom's around like 17, 18, and around I would say like 19, 20, me and my mom moved into an apartment together, and that was the first time I ever lived in an apartment or anything like that. It just didn't work, so we just parted ways. She went with her partner and I went with my other cousin, which was like close to my age but a little bit older than me too. She was like my sister, my mom, my best friend, and unfortunately I knew this too. Her parents were both alcoholics and drug addicts, and they used to fight a lot in the house, so I used to have to get in the middle, deal with things like that again. So it just kind of felt like, why is this happening? Like, why is my life like this? I hate this. And it really pushed me to not do anything like that. I think the closest thing I've ever really done to drugs like that is just smoke weed. I just could control myself. You know, I didn't want to fall too deep. I didn't want to repeat the cycle of what my life looked like in the past. So I always stayed clean. I always made sure that I was on top of my game. I always had a job. I always had savings since I was 16 years old. Before that, I used to hustle, clean the dog poop, clean the house, do the dishes, wash cars. I used to do anything and everything because I knew that I can only rely on myself. Yeah. After my cousins, I stayed there for like 2 years, and my sister, fortunately, she moved back with her boyfriend from Texas. She's becoming a nurse. I knew the guy wasn't good news when I first met him, and I spoke up about that a lot, but because my family is like kind of programming each other to like be okay with abusive relationships, when I spoke up about it, it kind of was like, you can't do that, you can't say that, you're a liar, you know. So I quickly became the black sheep of the family, and you know, no one really fucked with me. No one really liked me. No one really cared about what I had to say because I like to call the truth out, and I question things. So when I was telling my sister and questioning her, like, I think you're in an abusive relationship, even emotionally, it went all over the place. You know, you got to be careful who you help and who you try to get in the middle between. I met this guy after my breakup. I was talking to this guy for like 3 years, and it kind of was the same thing that my sister was going through, but except it didn't simmer into like a really emotionally abusive relationship. So luckily I got out of that, and then I worked on myself for a really long time. And mind you, I've always worked at the casinos since I was like 17 years old, at sports bars, lounges, all types of things, you know? And I never drank. I never really did any of that. So I was always in a bad environment. I met this guy, and he just was so different from anyone I've ever met. And I felt like I've just met so many people, especially working at the casinos, that I just was like, no, this is like who I need to be around. Like, you just know, you know what I mean? And it was like not even just romantic. It was just like I finally feel understood without even having to say a word. This person understands me. He understands like, hey, I could tell you're a little bit hot. Let's go get you this. Or hey, I could tell you're thirsty. Let me get you some water. It's like I never had to ask, or I never had to like train someone how to be around me or how to treat me. It's kind of just like, oh, I just have this respect for you. So I hung out with him all the time. We talked about life all the time, and he was an entrepreneur. And this was like the holy grail of my life. This was like the best moment of my life, because not only did I make a new friend that understood me and was there for me, but he put me on the game. You know, he saw what I had. He was like, hold up, you're already an entrepreneur. You're already doing these things. You're trying to become an agent for real estate. You're trying to do all these things. Like, I see you. And he was like, how about you try this thing called drop shipping? So I started drop shipping. Yeah, it took me far. I got a lot of success from it. I took it really far. I went to eBay, Braille, Depop, Thrifted, Vinted, bitch, Facebook. I was on everything. When you're in the right spot and you're in the right environment, you like kind of are in your purpose, things just work like this. So a lot of the things in my life didn't work like that. But when I found dropshipping, it was like the bread and butter of fucking money for me, because I no longer had to work at bars. I no longer had to be around beer and just just drunk people and drama and fighting and sex and all that. It just was like, wasn't me. So the fact that I found that and I found a person like that really helped me because we were both making money. And this person had like car rental businesses, LLCs. He had high limit credit cards. But I left my sister's and I moved in with him. And unfortunately, his mom and his sister were both addicts and they're mentally ill. And not only that, but his mom also had a kidney disease. So again, I was living the same motherfucking life and I was stuck. And I saved so much money from back then that I had like $10,000 in my savings. And I went to the drain because life got expensive. Life got crazy. And this is after 2020, mind you. So everything was like insanely expensive. I still had a car. I had all these things. And I had just got a job at the Cosmopolitan. And I got in a car accident because I had a stick shift car. The person in front of me got in an accident and I got the whiplash. So like I barely tapped her, but my whole hood was like scrunched up. My door was not able to open on the driver's side. There was no airbags in the car. My windshield was like literally cracked. My whole bumper was like falling off. I'll put a picture for you guys. It looks insane. And I still drove it to work, mind you. I still went to work in that shit with 2 jobs. It was under my mom's insurance. So I was telling her like, what do you want to do? Because no one asked me if I was okay. So I was like, what do you want to do? I'm gonna sell it. She was like, no, you're not selling it. Give it back to me. And I was like, but I'm gonna sell it. I need the money. And she's like, no. It's mine. I bought it. I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna give you the money. I didn't like that idea. I did it because it was hers, because she like bought it off Facebook Marketplace, whatever. And so she fixes it and doesn't give it back to me. And then she gives it to my dad for free. And he gives it to his friend for $300. So I'm just like, how am I gonna get to work? How am I gonna Uber? Like, what am I gonna do? My boyfriend had a car rental company and he still had like 2 more cars left. They both kind of went out. It just happened. So I quit my job and then we started couch flipping and we just were hustling, bro. Like when I mean hustling, I mean like I was selling crazy shit on Facebook Marketplace. My shoes, my clothes, my everything. I just kept getting rid of stuff, hustling and still drop shipping and doing all these things. And then we saved enough money to get an apartment and it was really nice for a really long time, but I didn't realize what it was like to really be on your own and have all these responsibilities and all these bills. I never got, you know what's crazy? I never got assistance from the government ever. Not because of my pride, but it's because genuinely I don't know how to do that shit. And every time I'd ask for help, like, they're such assholes. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm a raw dog this shit. So I was just spending my own money. I didn't have credit or anything like that. My parents didn't teach me anything. I never saw anything like that. I know they know about it, but they just didn't care to teach me. They kind of were like restricting me from life because they didn't want me to leave, you know, the little nest. And I know that they were like that because I just was a free person. I was going to go figure it out myself. And I knew that. So my family didn't really teach me or support me or validate me in any way. And I also was really neglected in my life. So I didn't know about a lot of things. And I felt stuck. Like I felt like before I even got homeless, I really knew that like I was already homeless. Like at 13, I knew that like I didn't have a home. I knew I didn't have a home with my mom and my sister. I knew that my dad would never be there. I knew my brother was always gonna like do the things he does and be a delinquent. I always knew that like my grandparents don't care. Like I just knew no one gave a fuck. And before even 13, it put the fucking fire under me. Like I was just like, ooh, I hate how they don't care so much. Bitch, I used to sell fucking snow cones. I used to be pumping the thing like blueberry or raspberry. Bitch, I was selling Cheetos at school. I'd sell my lunch at school. I was just trying to hustle, bro. I used to always have savings, piggy bank, all that. It was just ingrained in me to always hustle and know that like I can only rely on myself. But I knew deep down that I knew like I was going to be like I kind of like, not that I predicted it on myself, but I just knew I never had a home. Like I never felt home. All the things that, you know, when you're by yourself and now things are kind of going right for you, all the things that happen to you subconsciously like kind of just replay in your mind, and you remember like, why aren't they there, and why are things like this, and you just start to have a new perspective and you start thinking and pondering like naturally, no one was ever there for me. And like it's crazy because they all have careers, they all have nice cars, they all have like all these things going on for them, they have families, they have all these things. And I'm not trying to say like be there for me, feel bad for me. I'm just saying that like it be like that sometimes. Sometimes like your family will have all these things and they'll like act like, oh, we went on vacation last week and then next week and the week after that and you tell them that you got in a car accident, they don't even care to ask. You're watching your boyfriend's mom die and you're going through all these things and they don't even care to ask, like, you okay, like you need anything, and it just be like that sometimes. And I don't even want that from them anymore. We ended up living at his uncle's. It wasn't that fun. Nice people, but they're not that type of family where like they do that. So we had to leave, and that is when the first time I ever went homeless, like really homeless, like sleeping in the car tight, can't even lean back in the car because it's a 2-seater. And like reaching out to my family to say like, can I borrow $100? Like I just spent my money on my credit card. I need to pay my credit card back. Like, can I borrow $100? And this is coming from a person that used to give my money so they can borrow it at like 10. Okay. Like I'm telling you, I was such a giving person. I used to think like if I give, I'll get back in life. Sometimes, I will say sometimes. Don't expect things from people that you know deep down in your heart are not those type of people. I think that's where I fell, is that I put my belief and trust into people I knew I could not believe and trust. So when shit did happen, I didn't have anybody, you know? And I felt like God didn't care about me because my whole life has been this. And I always tried to do the right thing, but it just always seemed like I always got the short end of the stick. And it wasn't until I read like these books. And there was this one that my boyfriend gave to me. It was called Think Like a Millionaire by T. Harv Eker. And it changed my whole subconscious programming. And honestly, I feel like being homeless is just a subconscious program that you weren't enough, you don't fit in, you're not relatable, you like, you know what I mean? Like you're a free spirit, but like you don't know where to find your place in life, so like you get overwhelmed and then things just don't work out, and now you're in this position, and it's like, I think the number one thing to being homeless is just being ignorant as fuck, and also having subconscious programming of like the things that are negative in your life, and they keep resurfacing over and over, and it's like you can't just get over it emotionally. So yeah, and then after being in California, being homeless out there, we came back to Vegas and stayed at his mom's on the couch, and that was the worst time of my life ever. Like, I mean, like I was having so much suicidal thoughts. I was like, I literally could die and no one will care. Like, I could get sick and no one will care. I could just get hit by like nothing matters. And God doesn't care about me. It was hard for me because I had to sleep on a fucking couch with someone else that was like an addict, and she was like mentally ill, and she was like physically sick. So it was like really uncomfortable because it's not my family. And I don't know you. Like, it's just the whole thing in general. Like, I wouldn't even be around that shit with my dad. Like, why would I even be here for this? So I was stuck, dude. Like, I had no car. I had no help. I had no love. I had no guidance. I had nothing, 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 nothing. All I had was myself. It was a day where I just sat back and I thought, like, what do I want? I spent so much time thinking about what I don't want. The only thing came in my mind was, like, what do you want? And for a time, I felt like the things I did want, I wasn't even worthy of. But something just kept telling me, like, but just what do you want? Like, what do you want? I said, I want freedom. I want to feel like me again. I want to be the best me. I want to feel in control. I went to Pace Morby Sub 2, like, tour that they had out here in Vegas, and it was horrible. Honestly, that shit was trash. I'm sorry. Like, that shit was, I'm sorry. Like, that shit really was trash. The only person that was, like, good was, like, this one guy. I think his name was, like, Jeremy or something like that. Gave an amazing speech. I just said to myself, like, I know what I want. I don't know how to get it. What do I have to do every day to have that? I went backwards. I reverse engineered. I looked at a car I saw on Facebook Marketplace, and I just asked everyone, can I sublease this? Like, I will pay you more than what you're asking for on Facebook as long as I can make payments. And a lot of people said no. But I found this guy that had this apartment in this really nice luxury community. And he was like, I'm leaving Las Vegas and I'm leaving the United States. I need someone to take over my apartment while I'm working my job. I was so shocked. So I went to go meet with the guy. Really cool dude. He's from Brazil. We signed a contract together and I got the keys to this apartment, and I've been here since. And not only that, but he gave me all the stuff that he couldn't take with him, and he just gave it to us for free, basically. He pays the rest of the bills. So like, we pay just the rent and he pays everything else. Wi-Fi, lights, AC, like power, all that, water, like all of it. He pays all of it. We just are helping each other out. And then for the car, I didn't even have money for the apartment when I made the agreement, which is crazy. I had no money. I just kept saying yes. I'm sorry. I'm delusional. I don't care. Better than feeling sorry for yourself. So I was like, fuck, I need a car. Like I said, I was looking for cars already. I remembered that his sister still had a car from the car rental company, but it was like broken. So it had issues. I knew it had issues, but I was like, fuck it. I don't care. Anything's better than doing nothing and sitting here with these people that don't even get up for themselves. I took that car and I Ubered every fucking day of my life. And I made $200 a day almost. This is how much I made before I moved in. Can you see it? I made $6K. Mind you, I did Uber. That's just how it went. And I subleased my whole life. I don't know where I'd be right now. But it's crazy though, because so many good things will happen, and then so many bad things will happen. And this kind of reminds me of what Bob Proctor said, where it's like your terror barriers is testing you because you're so used to being down here that when you try to jump, life is going to test you to bring you back down. And I just refuse to go back down. I hope this helped for somebody that was going through this, and maybe they can relate to my story, and just something that, did it help you? Did it not help you? Is it relatable? Is it not relatable? I don't know. All I know is that I used to watch these videos when I was homeless, and it gave me a lot of hope. There was a woman I watched in particular. I'm going to find her and put her in the description below, because that video helped me get through a lot. And she said just being honest helped her get there. So she basically said that like she was getting out of this relationship, and she had a son, and she was just about to start a job, and her credit was like being repaired at the time, so she didn't have like all that. She didn't have nothing. And God just told her to apply to the apartment. And fortunately enough, like her and the agent had a really good relationship, and so she was trying to help her, but the management that she had just kept saying no. Luckily for her, a week later, she said, she told her straight up though, like, I can't afford this. I don't have any pay stubs. I don't have nothing. This is all I have. I just started this job. I've never been late on a payment. I promise. God came through, and the management left, a new one came, and she approved her. That's just how life works sometimes. Sometimes things have to get bad before they get better. It determines on your attitude and the way that you reflect and intake things like this in your life. Like, you can't always sit there in pity and be like, why me? You know, all you can do is think about how can you provide for the next person to help, because money is just energetic, to be real with you. Like, you just have to have motion, and if you're not doing anything, your money reflects that. That's that. And also too, if you are homeless or you are struggling and you do need help, please look into starting your credit journey. Or if you're not and you're already in debt and stuff like that, please look onto how to fix your debt, how to pay for deletion, and to get all your credit online and see how much you owe for who can give you a secured credit card, see who can do a credit repair, find mentors, find books. Like, when I'm telling you that this book right here helped me so hard, I was going through the hardest time of my life, and I read this book twice. It helped me so hard because I never thought about how much do I need to make a day for me to afford the thing that I want. I never thought about how much do I need to make a day for me to have the things that I want. I only thought about the price, and it overwhelmed me. I just didn't want to look at it, so I would just push away and be avoidant. Get a sales job. Please get a sales job. I had many sales jobs. A lot of them suck, okay? But you're gonna find your spot. You're gonna be different, because the fact that you know you don't fit into regular jobs, you can be in sales because you're already relatable. You understand people. It's gonna help your life. Find a remote one. If you really can't drive there, find a remote. There's an answer to everything. You're just not. You're feeling everything so much to the point where you're like, I can't, but this. Stop being rational. Stop being a smart ass. And start fucking praying, and start thinking about yourself and what you want, and start figuring out, how much do I need? What do I need to do? Look, I Ubered my way out of poverty, okay? So you can do something. I was drop shipping fucking jewelry, okay? You can do something. I was selling furniture off of Facebook Marketplace. I was flipping it. I'd buy it for cheap, clean it up, sell it, and make way more profit, hundreds of dollars. So don't tell me that you don't have something that you could do. Like, comment down below if you are in this position or have advice for people in this position. It's not easy, and it starts with the mind first. The only reason why I even said this shit in the past is because I knew already where my foundation was. It's more mentality of I can or I can't. And if you don't reprogram your mind to think you can, trust me, life is going to run you back and forth, bro. You're going to get ran through. You're going to give up. You're just going to let go. You're going to stop focusing on that shit. I used to think $500 was a lot to pay on a credit card, until I realized I was paying myself back. But you see what I mean, though? It's like, it's not the credit that's fucking you up. It's the way you think about credit. It's the way that you interpret things and the way that you intake life. Stop being so negative. I was so negative. My mind only focused on the negative things in my life. Like, oh, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going on. What else can happen? You are low frequency when you're fucking complaining all the time. Trust me, it's so easy. It's so fucking easy. But if you don't make up with your energy, people are going to see that and they're not going to want to hire you. People are going to see that and they don't want to help you. People are going to see that you're sitting in your poverty like, ew, why would I help a person that doesn't even want to help themselves? Trust me, they see it. I look like this every single fucking day when I was homeless, and guess what? No one knew. And I'm not shy about it. I'm not ashamed. This is my life, because when I was on the verge of like really being homeless and really being sick and not having a car and being in an accident, no one asked me shit. No one suddenly cared anymore. And now you realize that you got you, and that you have to find your purpose. You have to find what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you want, and what you don't want. That's simple as that. The thing is that we feel so unsupported in life, we don't even want to fucking try. Trust me, I know. Every idea I've ever had, I was always told, you're extra, you're dramatic, you're over the top, that's not real, you're in la la land. Bitch, guess what now? I'm still here. I still have my soul. I'm still here. Look, I can go homeless one more fucking time, and I'm still here. I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself, and I'm not gonna splurge my money and do all this bullshit. This is me. This is me, and this is my life, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it because I know there's another girl across the world that's going through the same shit and don't know what to do. I used to watch TED Talks to just get me through the day. All fucking day. I used to work in the casinos and listen to TED Talks and take my headphones out and be like, what'd you say? Can I get you a what? Let me put that in the system. Let me be right back. Let me go get your beer. Bro, I'm telling you, I found a fucking way. Because I refuse. I made this video. This is my fourth time making this fucking video. In one sitting. And it was all the same exact time. It's literally the same exact time every time because I have the same shit to say. I know what I'm saying is real, bro. Like, I see videos and they're fucking tacky. And they don't talk about this shit. They don't talk about their background and why. They just like, God gave it to me. No, bitch. You gave it to yourself and God was with you along the whole time. That's what happened. Because we fucking feel sorry for ourselves. We think that people should be there for us and shit. They were never there for you. And that's what I was trying to say from the back. When I was 13 years old, I knew that they weren't there for me. When I was 7 years old and my brother and my dad were fighting and punching holes in the wall, my dad was doing drugs. My brother was going to jail. My mom was being neglectful. She worked 3 jobs to avoid the shit. My sister was fucking bullying the shit out of me. Bitch drowned me in the pool a couple times. I knew that they weren't there for me. I knew, and it's not personal. It just is what it is because they got their own shit going on. And I knew at a young age, you gotta take care of yourself. Like, you gotta do this shit, bro. Cause like, there's gonna be a day, bro. There's gonna be a day. And we weren't even poor. That's the craziest part. We were never really even poor. I never moved into an apartment until I was 19, 20 years old. And that was only because it was during COVID time. It doesn't matter who you think you are. Trust me, all you got is you. All you got is a mindset. My mindset was the only thing no one could take from me. You feel me? No one could take it. I was with my ex for 3 years. 3 years. I told him I was homeless. He did not ask me not once if I was okay, if I ate, if I did nothing. Do you hear me? The people, the drama you're around, the shit's gonna pull you down, bruh. It's not gonna get you nowhere. I don't gossip. I don't do drugs. I don't fucking drink. I don't feel sorry for myself. Matter of fact, every single time I've ever lived a day in my life, I got up, I made my bed, I brushed my teeth. If the only thing I had, my only purpose was to get ready for the day, I'm doing it. And I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it the fucking best, and bitches are gonna hate on me, and they do. Look, bitches hate on me, and I was homeless. Okay? Because it's all about what's inside. I'm seeing girls live their fucking life, okay? I've had friends, strippers, bottle girls, cocktail servers. I've seen it. But I'd rather have my soul than to be sold. You hear me? I chose a lifestyle that was against what I was used to, and I knew that I was gonna fall into it. I knew the moment that I was gonna become a stripper or a cocktail server or a bottle girl, all that. I knew the moment I was gonna do that in my life was the moment I was gonna become an addict. I fucking knew it. I saw it. I saw it all my life. I saw it. I'm not hating on them. Because a lot of girls don't have that. A lot of girls have a different reason why they're there. But I knew my reason there. I was desperate. And men can smell that. I knew that I had to be a woman and bust the fuck up. That's why I had to read shit like this, bruh. Read this book. Please read this book if you're a woman and you're struggling and you're on your own and you're with the guy that can't do shit for you or him, and he's just a piece of shit, and you got parents that ain't shit, you got friends that ain't shit, you ain't got no fucking job. Like, I'm telling you, please read a fucking book and stop doom scrolling, bruh. Listen, every day has to be an effort. Every day has to be a meaning. Every day has to be a purpose. Every fucking day, bro. I had to meditate and be in my fucking solitude on a couch, bro. I had to put a fucking blanket over my head to meditate, to focus on where I wanted to be in life and tell myself that I was worthy of having more. I didn't feel sorry for myself because I didn't have no more fucking room for pity because I already cried my tears out, bro. I cried so many fucking tears. I cried to the moon. I cried to the sun. I yelled at everybody. I told everybody about what's going on. No one fucking cared. And guess what? I'm here still standing with my soul intact. And guess what? When I look at my family, I don't see shit. You know why? Because there's no unity. There's no love. There's no community. There's no peace. There's no resolution. There's not shit there. They're just moving on. And they don't look back. They don't fix the things in their life. Fix your shit in your life. Personal. Emotional. Fix it. Because if you don't, you're going to be in a position where, look, I got lucky. Do you not understand that? I got lucky because I thought that way. I got lucky because I was handed a job. I'm lucky to even live in Las Vegas so I can make tips real quick, come back, boom. There's some people that are in fucking towns I don't even know. They live in the redneck lifestyle and they're in the middle of fucking nowhere with weird ass parents and shit, and you're scared to even get out of your room. Like, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. Some people you'll tell your story to, and they'll look at like, ew. Like, bitch, I can really control my brother being on drugs and my dad doing crack. Like, I can't control those things, bitch. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is embarrassing. But you know what? I'm gonna be the prime example of what they're not. How about that? I'm not changing myself for anybody else. This is me. You want to make fun of me? You want to call me broke or shit? You want to make fun of me, all that shit? I don't give a fuck, bitch. I make fun of my damn self. There's nothing that you are going to say that I haven't already heard. Get you a sales job. Fuck a bottle, girl. Fuck the fast life, bitch. Get you a sales job. That's a fast life. You want some shit to listen to? Go listen to Alex Hermosi. Go listen to Layla Hermosi. Go listen to somebody, bro. You're gonna need a mentor. You're gonna need a coach for finance, for lifestyle, for aesthetics, for food, for health. You're gonna need a coach, bro. I asked anyone in my family, like, is there anything that I asked one time. I asked somebody. I said, I was with a group of people. I said, what kind of car? What's your guys' dream car? So they're like, dream car. Bitch, you ain't got no dreams. I'm sorry. Y'all can talk about Love Island all you want. I really don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about no one that don't give a fuck about me. That's just how I am. Let me know if this was helpful for you guys. I know it's crazy. I get crazy intense sometimes because this shit is real, bruh. Like, this is my life. And no one's gonna care about it the way you're gonna care about it. So give a fuck. Okay?